Hey everyone, Matt Pisarcik from RazorEmporium.com coming at you today for a quick rapid fire top 5 issues you're going to have possibly with a straight razor and how to overcome them. Number 5, tugging and pulling. I think this is actually the number one thing I hear the most, but we're going to start with this. When you come from the world of safety razors, whether it's cartridge razor or double-edged razor, you may have this laser-like feel where it's like it's coming through the hair, and then you get your first straight razor and you're like, it's not sharp enough. It's not sharp enough. It's pulling. It's tugging. I'm feeling more blade. Guys, this is par for the course. Is it possible that your blade isn't sharpened properly? It's possible. It also is possible that in your excitement to strop it, you may have actually damaged the edge. So I would always say, if it's pulling and tugging, have a qualified Honemeister, get it sharp and ready for you, and use it right out of the box from them. And if you're experiencing tugging and pulling, you may need to do some additional skin stretching. You may need to manipulate your jaw, your face muscles, get nice and flat areas, nice and tight areas. Make sure you have the right angle, that you are starting flat against your face with the edge and kind of slowly working it out until you feel it engage as you do light little strokes. Don't try to go all the way down your face at once. And it's going to take a little time for you to get used to that. So kind of par for the course. You're going to have to get used to it. Sure, maybe you can see if it's not sharp, but I would say there's lots of things you can do to help alleviate this concern if it's not sharp enough, it's pulling and tugging. Number 4, my blade is rusting. I don't know what the story is, Matt. I just got this brand new straight razor and it's already rusting. Well, first thing I'd ask you is, are you running it under the sink when you're trying to rinse off the lather like you do a metal safety razor? If you are, stop doing that. First off, it's an easy place to accidentally nick it. There's this big giant metal faucet and you're underneath it and you can bang it against the porcelain. So that's already a concern. But number 2, you are getting water all over carbon steel. Carbon steel is not like one of these. It does not want to have water on it. And you're just promoting rust, right? The carbon part of the steel is going to mix with the water part and create iron oxide. Instead, get yourself a little hand towel, and as you're shaving and it builds up lather on it, just quickly, easily run it straight through. Just kind of pinch the blade gently without cutting yourself, and just like this, pull it straight through. When you're all done, all this lather and hair, throw it in the washer, you're done. You will keep your blade dry, which it wants to be, and you're also gonna look like a real badass. That's how barbers do it. But seriously, other thing about rust, keep this out of the bathroom. When you're done shaving, leave it open and put it somewhere out of the reach of children. Don't let some kid grab this, maybe up on a cabinet, but get it out of the bathroom. Steamy bathroom, moisture, the enemy of carbon steel. Maybe put it on the medicine cabinet, maybe put it in the kitchen, maybe put it on your dresser. Let it dry for at least an hour after you're done. Don't store it in a humid place. That's how you stop rust. Number 3, Matt, I got this cool new blade or a vintage blade and I'm going to close it. I'm closing it and it kind of hit a little bit. It's hitting the one side of the scale, the one side of the handle. Okay, well, if you had a ball peen hammer, which I don't have a ball peen hammer on set, but I'll make do pretending this is a ball peen hammer. I would go out to my workbench and these little guys right here, these little rivets are called pins, right? And I would put it flat on like the anvil or like a piece of metal, not a piece of wood, something that's hard, and I would go like this. And I would tap, tap, tap on these little tiny rivets on the opposite side. So if it's going this way, I'm gonna tap on this side. If it's going this way, I'm gonna tap on this side. And a lot of times just that little tap, tap, tap is actually gonna kind of straighten that pin out and it's gonna help it close better. So you can not have to worry about sending it off. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, you don't have a ball peen hammer, you don't have the setup, you're worried about breaking something, you can send it in to us, of course, or someone else qualified, a good Honemeister can be able to do this. But simple little DIY little trick hack at home. Just use a ball peen hammer. Tap, tap, tap. Number 2, stropping. I can't figure it out. Why is it so difficult? Why do I even need one of these? What is this? Well, this is a strop. It is not meant to sharpen your blade. Your blade's either sharp or it's not. That's done on stones where we're actually taking metal away. We're like sanding it more or less and removing steel. This is going to align the blade. I want you to think, I always say this a million times. We'll use this little tiny piece of cardboard here. I want you to think of that fine blade, like this fine little piece of material right here. And when you shave with it, it actually gets all kind of bent around like this. If you looked under a microscope, it really does. It's all twisted and bent. And so you got to kind of push it back, push that very fine edge back to being square. You do that with a strop. So I'm just going to demonstrate. The number one thing people do wrong with a strop is they go the wrong way. When you sharpen a blade on a stone, the edge goes into the stone. When you strop, it goes backwards. So you're going to put the blade here, and we're actually going to trail backwards. We're going to roll on our spine and come across. Now this is a 2-inch strop and a 3-inch blade, so I actually have to kind of go in an X pattern to get fully across it. Take your time doing this. Speed has absolutely nothing to do with the end result. It's all about quality strops. Listen with your ears for consistent sound. Take your time, even pressure, good tautness on your strop, and you will be a stropping master. And the number one thing, I get people saying, oh, I'm scared of this, or I am already using one, I'm getting nicks and cuts. I would always ask you, what kind of grind is your blade? If you are someone who maybe is worried about nicks and cuts, don't get one like this. It's got a spike point. Maybe look for more of a round point. It's a little bit easier, especially around like the ears area, you know, back of the neck area, maybe under the nose. The round point could be easier for you. And also, you may want to think about the size. If you're someone who, again, this is new, maybe you want to get a 5/8 or even a 4/8, 9/16, you know, 6/8 maybe max, but a smaller size blade and a more comfortable geometry of the tip could be a good way to get started. So you can either alleviate nicks you're already getting or kind of alleviate your anxiety about getting nicks, is to start off with a razor that's a little more user-friendly. A lot of brands have 5/8 round points out there, and there's a good reason why people make that recommendation. It's great to get started. It's a great way to avoid nicks in the first place. But don't be too afraid, because the wonderful world of straight razor shaving is wonderful. It's like diving in the deep end of the pool. A little scary at first, but once you get your bearings, you realize, wow, this is actually the place to be. It's right here in the deep end, right here with the straight razors. We always love our safety razors, but man, if you're not doing both, can you really call yourself a wet shaver? I don't know. That's my top 5. If you got a number 6 or number 7, number 8, whatever, what did I forget? Tell me below in the comments. And if you do leave a comment, you're entered to win one of these, the official Razor Emporium black and blue t-shirt. That's all I got. Please leave a comment, like this video, share it with someone who needs to know these 5 tips, and we'll see you next time at Razor Emporium for all things vintage shaving. Thanks, guys.